It's Hello everyone. Happy Halloween, good evening, and good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. My name is the one who gets bread, and as you can see, I'm dressed as Charizard. And today's been quite a hectic day. Other than Halloween, I have a test I have in one of my classes when I was doing the like the study guide for it. It kind of took the whole day, so I wasn't able to do anything for Halloween other than I did go outside. I saw a few of our friends and neighbors, which is fun. We watched Clover. We watched the Cloverfield Paradox and the one that came out in 2003. I could say that they're very good movies. So let me just move the camera down a little bit. Hi, Super Sammy. How are you? Happy Halloween. See if that might mess up with the lighting. Hopefully not. I think it just did. So let me scoot back up. Okay, I think if I scoot back or a little bit, it should be perfect. So, anywho, we watched 2 Clover movies past few days, just getting in the mood for all the spooky stuff happened today. And as you can see, just as Charizard for this stream. So yeah, for tonight's festivities, I just wanted to talk about Halloween and everything that's been going on. It was a nice day today for Halloween. It wasn't too cold, it wasn't too warm, which is perfect. There are some people who came by our house. We weren't giving candy because of the pandemic and stuff, but people who came by our house, and then they would ring the doorbell and knock on it, and then the dog would go crazy. Our dog crazy, but we had to make sure we turned off all the lights in the dining room and the hallway, so people wouldn't mistake us for the houses that are giving out candy. We usually would give out candy. It's just the pandemic. We wouldn't want anything to happen to anyone by, the candy from going door to door or handing out the people candy. We just wanted to keep everyone safe, and so we decided to not do any handing out of candy like last year during the actual first wave of the pandemic. So yeah, hopefully maybe next year everything will be better and could return to handing out candy. I was looking forward to performing some music live outside, but that didn't happen again because of the study guide, the Connect assignment I had in organic chem. It took most of today, so it's done with, but it was a very difficult thing to get through. My professor has told us time and time again that her tests are easier than what Connect has. That's the online textbook that we're using for the course. So it looks like I just have a little bit of more studying, and I think I'll do fine. I'm Charizard. I'll do fine. So you got an extra large Hershey dark chocolate bar. Oh, sounds delicious. I haven't eaten Hershey in a while. I haven't had chocolate in a long time. Usually just don't have time to binge and eat a bunch of candy, but that sounds delicious. Oh man, XL. I like getting not Tic Tacs. I don't like Tic Tacs as much as I used to. I meant to say Kit Kats. I love Kit Kats. I do love Hershey's too. It's just sometimes I'm in a mood for Kit Kats and I'm in another mood for Hershey's. So, any chocolate is good with me as long as I don't like caramel. That's the only thing, or nougat. But milk, dark, any of those varieties, Hershey, Kit Kats, any of those M&Ms, I like them all. I don't eat them as much as I did before, but I'll have some chocolate here and there, stuff like that. Anywho, planning to do some Pokemon Unite later this evening. I'm just doing all this now because, again, the chem stuff took all day, and I did get to do a lot of other things other than chem today. So maybe in like 20 or so minutes I'll do the stream. I'll hop onto Twitch mobile streaming and play some Pokemon Unite. And there's still that Halloween event that's still going on in that game. I still haven't completed it, but I want to get there and get the gradient that's free in the game if you get through all of the missions, so that's something cool. Just checking something right now, and let me see what... It's a little bit chilly tonight, which is perfect for a fire Pokemon like me. I could just keep myself warm with my fire type attacks if need be. I got this at a store at the mall that my friends in college told me about, and so I did some research. I was looking for, originally I saw the store when I was looking for places that sell Pokemon cards in the area, because I go to this college, and this maybe like 15-minute drive from us, so it's in a different town. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any place that sell Pokemon cards nearby. And so it's called the Anime Store, the Haha Anime Store, and it's a very nice place. It has a good selection. They have Pokemon cards there. They have a bunch of other stuff that's just a small fraction of what they have at this cool store. I don't watch much anime and like anime at all. I know some animes, but I haven't like followed a series or watched any. But if let's just say that there's a lot of selection there for all of these different anime TV series and stuff like that. It's pretty cool how they had it arranged as well. It looked like a library, and it also had a Walmart. But if all the things in Walmart were anime related, it was just pretty cool. It looked like they have some stuff imported from Japan and stuff. It's pretty cool as well. It's not all just things you can find here. It's like exclusive things from overseas, you know. So anyways, I called them up. This was a while ago. I called them up and I was like, do you guys have Pokemon stuff? And yeah, they said cards and singles. So that's a thing I've been doing now mostly, is buying my Pokemon cards as singles, because booster pack over booster pack, it just gets boring a little bit if you keep pulling all the green cards like me. So in the Pokemon pack, if you get a green code card, that means you didn't get a foil or anything like that. But if you have one that's green and white, that's the one that you want, because that will have something good in it. Yeah, sometimes I'll have like all these packs that are just the green cards. I couldn't find any green and white ones. So anywho, I've been buying singles, and I bought 2 singles from the Anime Store, and they're really good condition. These are like really mint. And so I was on the phone again, and I was asking, do you guys still have those Pokemon? You know, they're Kigurumis. This is a Kigurumi. It's a animal costume pajamas, and of course there's some different characters. Like there's ones of Stitch and Pokemon like what I have, and so I was asking because I saw on their website they had some, and I was thinking of getting one for a while for Pokemon. But on Amazon it's like $90. I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on it. I want to get it a little bit cheaper if I can. And I didn't want to wait for shipping, and why is there a $100 Amazon package on our front porch? All that jazz. So I was like, oh wait, they have some here, and it's a little bit cheaper than Amazon, and I'll be right there. I don't need to wait for shipping. So my friends and we went to the mall one day after classes. I finished all my tests for the week. So we went on an outing to the mall, and so we went to the store, and they're giving me a hard time because they're like, oh, why are you going in there? Oh man. They wanted me to go into a few stores too, sometimes against my will, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, my friends were really wild at the mall, but anywho, so we went into the store, so I was looking at the Pokemon cards, and I couldn't find the Charizard thing. I was telling my friend Caleb, I couldn't find the Charizard thing. I guess they didn't have it. I asked while he was gone, and they said they're at a convention. They brought a bunch of these Kigurumi at the convention, so they didn't have it in stock. They had a Gengar and whatnot. I would like a Gengar one though, actually, but I was like, I want a Charizard one so badly. With everything Charizard, you know, the Charizard cards, we need to get the Charizards. So yeah, I was looking for a Charizard. So they didn't have any in stock at the time, because they took them to the convention. So I just looked at the Pokemon cards instead. So I bought 2 singles from them. They're still in good shape. They're really great condition when I bought them. Very happy to find another store that had such good variety. And okay, so we left that store and we walked around the mall a few more minutes, and then my friend, he goes, you know, you were talking about one of those Charizard things, or I saw them in the store. They're actually there. They had them, and it's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? And then so we went back there, and then some in the group waited outside of it because they weren't brave enough to go into the store, and they're being foolish. So Caleb and I went back. They did have a whole rack of these Kigurumis, and they're all cool ones too. There's an Eevee one, there's a Gengar, there's a Mewtwo. I really want the Mewtwo one too. There are Charizards. There's actually an XL, which is much bigger than this. This one is like a one size fits most. So it's like small, medium, large. And so yeah, this is the one I got because I'm not like really tall or anything. Very itty bitty Charizard. Anywho, so yeah, so I saw in the rack and we started. Apparently, you should keep them hanging, especially the Kigurumi ones, not the union suit ones like at Walmart and stuff. Those are union suits. These are more like a sturdier material, I guess, and they're the original actual thing, the Kigurumi. So the employee, she was telling us to, oh wait, don't remove those, and oh, we were getting one, and then so this is one of the most fun conversations I've ever had, and since starting college and going out to these places with my friends. Okay, so the Charizard, this one, we brought it to the cashier register. We followed the worker, and she was scanning it and stuff, and then so we could hear him outside with a group of friends. Oh no, Raph is getting something from the anime store, and they're teasing me about it. They're teasing Caleb, but they're teasing me like big time because I went to the mall and got the Charizard thing. So that went on for a while. It still goes on. They still give me a hard time about, oh my gosh, did you see that Raph bought a Charizard costume at the mall? So when we were checking out, that stuff was happening. That's like the origin story of all that. All them teasing me all the time. So in her cash register, she was folding it, and the way you fold it, I've seen like a tutorial and a guide online, is you could kind of make like a pillow using the Kigurumi. You roll it up, you fold it, and then you put this part, the little thing that you could put over your head, but it's kind of like a hood. If it was a bigger, like if their snout was bigger, I could probably pull it down and it'll cover my whole face. But anywho, so the thing, the head of the Kigurumi, like the Charizard right here. So you could fold it over the folded and roll the lower half of it, and it becomes like a pillow. You put it over. There's the face of the Kigurumi that you have in. Then store it like that. So when they were packing it, we were just having this conversation. I was saying, unironically, I wear things like this Kigurumi, or I have a Yeti one, I have a Sloth one, I have a Green Dragon one. I love these. They're unironically, I wear them. They're very comfy, especially when it gets colder, and it's pretty fun to, like just wear something like this. I love them. So I was talking about that, and of course, friends are still giving me a hard time, but I keep rambling on because I really do like these. They're very soft. I like being comfy and stuff. But yeah, so then I go while they're checking out. While the worker is like packing up the stuff. I go, oh, may I please have a bag with this? As in like a shopping, plastic bag, and then the worker, man, she's great. The workers there, the staff, is wonderful. Goes, oh man, so first of all, you buy a Kigurumi at the mall, you buy a Pokemon one, you buy a Kigurumi at the mall, and so first, okay, so your friends aren't going to probably give you a hard time about that, but they are, so that's how I was thinking. So first off, you're buying a Kigurumi, and then second of all, you're asking for a bag of it. Now they're gonna make fun of you. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, oh gosh, yes, they're gonna continue making fun of me, which they do. It's all good, but that was one of the funniest things that ever happened since I been in college. So we're gonna make fun of you for buying one of these Kigurumis. They're gonna make fun of you because you asked for a bag when you're checking out at a store. Oh man, good times. I'm glad I bought it. I kept telling my friend Caleb, you saved me about $20. I would have gotten one of these on Amazon for $90, not just counting tax. The tax brought it to like, I can't remember, 93-ish, 83, something around there. But if I got it off of Amazon, this would have been more than $100, including tax. So, yay, I saved $20. Still spent $80 on a Charizard Kigurumi. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cold outside. It's 41. I'll check it right now. Probably changed. It's still 41. The low tonight is 37 where I live. So yes, it's very cold. I'm making my room really cold too by putting the fan on. It's on right now. Doing that so I don't overheat in one of these, which I might start. I'm gonna put it. There we go. Anywho, I would tell like some jokes and talk about like what people dressed up for Halloween and stuff, but again, we weren't handing out candy, so I don't really know in my area what people are dressing up, but on TikTok and stuff, especially the colleges and high school, everything being in person again and stuff, they had their costume days, and man, were these people, this is us as Gen Z and just high schoolers having so much fun, just like enjoying life, college students and high schoolers, just living the dream and stuff, having fun, trying to find opportunities to bring smiles and, liven up every situation they come across. So there's this one, it was either at a high school or a college that I found this one of my favorite ones. So you have a person dressed up as, one of those T-Rex costumes, the inflatable ones where the head like pops up like that and then they run around. Let me scoot back. So, the T-Rex costumes are the inflate, and then they run around like this. The head bobbles, and it's pretty cute. So someone was dressed up as one of those T-Rex, and then there's a person in an Among Us costume, and they fought each other in the school parking lot or something. It was wild. Oh, man. And there's this other one. It was a big old cafeteria, so I think it was at a college. So there's this person who, it was decked out full on a character from an anime. I don't know which one, but it was detailed, and it was to the nail, to the, whatever the expression is, to the teeth or to the nail. It's been a long day. I don't know the expression, but anyways, this thing was precise. This cosplay was precise to the. I'm sorry. Oh, it's a long day. I've been up since. So let me try that again. Wait. Okay, so this cosplay that this person did, it was like to the dime. Everything was so detailed, and it was of an anime character. And then so you see them walking around lunch, they're in character, and they're like greeting everyone. They're just having a blast in it, and everyone around them is like, oh wow, and then so everyone's just happy in the cafeteria. And so the caption said like, this person better win the costume contest, and I'm like, yes, we need them to win, yes. Oh man, it was crazy at that high school. Everyone, or college, it's a college, I think, because of how big the cafeteria, but man, it looked like it must have been the happiest time of the week for everyone there, which is good. Everyone was enjoying themselves and stuff on Halloween. It looked like everyone was safe. So far there wasn't any news of anything bad happening, so that's good. Everyone's safe. Usually there'd be like, you know, the cases of like weird stuff in the candy and stuff like that, but hopefully all that's sorted out. Everyone takes their safety very seriously nowadays, which is good, especially now that with the pandemic, there are people that are taking extra precautions, you know, like the candy chutes and stuff. They take a pipe and they put it near their house, the door to their house, and then they'll just roll a piece of candy down that tube and it'll go into someone's bag. So it's like very social distance, which is very, you know, like, this is innovation that excites right here. What else did I see on TikTok about Halloween? Oh, so there's this group of people on there that they dressed up as, you know, like Freddy Krueger and Scream Ghost and all the Michael Myers and stuff. And they did a all group TikTok, and it was pretty, you know, that one where, I don't know if what's it? I do not know the name of this song, but it goes, bam, 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 dun, 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 that one. And then they all did it as a group. So Freddy Krueger like pushed over the Scream Ghost in the background, so the Scream Ghost had to crawl all the way on the floor, and he got in front of everyone. It was so funny. There was a thing I was watching. It was a meme, of course, of watching memes. Again, I was just talking about how everyone is gonna be, you know, like how Gen Z is like this thing where back then if you saw like Bigfoot or something, you'd be like, oh no, it's Bigfoot. But nowadays it's like people are writing like big old fanfics of Bigfoot. It's like, wow, this stuff is crazy, man. It wasn't a video, but it was like a post or something, I forgot, but it was a meme, I know that for sure. But there are a lot of memes that are saying like Squid Game was going to be the most popular costume, and actually I'm gonna go check on that right now. Let's see if that prediction held up. Let's see. Most popular Halloween costumes this year. I need to see the most current one. 2 days ago, 5 hours ago. No. This one. Let's see. Visual Capitalist says Squid Game is on the list. The most popular costume this year was a witch, followed by a rabbit, followed by a dinosaur, Spider-Man, Cruella, Harley, Pennywise, Sam, cheerleader, pirate, angel, it looks like, the Dracula from, I think, Nosferatu, so it's a different version of the vampire. At the bottom of the list, actually, is Joker, a ninja, Squid Game. Wow, I guess there isn't many Squid Game costumes this year. And Beetlejuice, so I wasn't actually expecting them to be that low because of all the memes that are saying that everyone showing up to your house will be a Squid Game character. But pretty cool. I guess I fit in with what I'm dressed up as Charizard. So that's not a dragon because he isn't a dragon type for balance reasons, but I would be in that third tier, I guess, because it's kind of a dragon is just like a dinosaur with wings, kind of. So I'm the third most popular costume choice. I'm part of that group there. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. Oh, that's interesting. 1980s was a big costume thing this year. The 80s. It's cool. Oh gosh, there's a projection that Americans would spend $10 billion on Halloween this year. Wow. Among Us, Squid Game, and Pokemon at notable costumes in the top 50. Pokemon is at number 50. Fortnite's being Pokemon? It's all good, it's all good. Velma Dinkley is really high ranking too. Velma Dinkley beat Fortnite, wow. Poison Ivy, another one of my favorite comic book villains / maybe anti-hero, depending how you look at some of the characters in DC Comics. It could be both ways. She's one of my favorites. She's at number 33, the 33rd most popular costume this year. Wow. Actually, there was a person from I knew from my high school. She dressed up as Poison Ivy. Her take on it was pretty cool. It was in like one of those formal attire, and then just leaves growing like around it. It was pretty cool. It was like a vine pattern. Oh, you didn't dress up for Halloween. What would have you gone as if you did? Who would you have been at Halloween if you did dress up? What other ones? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, I guess in Florida, people liked dressing up as rabbits for some reason, according to this chart. It says in 2020 it was 4th in the state. That's something you don't learn every day. Connecticut liked the Powerpuff Girls back in 2020. Arizona, again, a rabbit. Colorado really liked the dinosaurs back in 2020. Yeah, that's pretty cool seeing all the demographics and all that stuff. Naruto. Nice. The Naruto, you could do the Naruto run and run to all the houses and get all the candy first. Good choice. Let's see what else is on. Most popular costumes. Wednesday Addams again. This would be one of the popular costumes of this year. No, that's just an advertisement for a costume store. I was going to read it off, but it was just an ad. Cruella de Vil, I think I said that already though. Cowboy, that's a new one. It looks like they have different ranking systems. Like this one had, they had Dinosaur as the third. I don't think Rabbit was or maybe, I think it was. So this is all the same ranking. Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool costumes, guys. Let's see what else is on. Oh, if we looked up the most popular costumes, we might as well look up the most popular candies. Let's see, most popular. Okay, I'm just going to put in the same search term and change costume for candies. Peanut M&Ms, regular M&Ms, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Hershey's Milk Chocolate, Twizzlers, Snickers, Kit Kat, candy corn. Oh, candy corn is still on there. I've tried candy corn before. I forgot the taste though. Haribo Gold Bears. Those are amazing. Sour Patch Kids. I've yet to try those. Kit Kat, of course. I love those. Of parents with children under the age of 18, approximately 34% admitted to stealing candy from their kids' Halloween stash. Let's see. Roughly 11% stated that they handed out healthy treats instead of candy on Halloween. Yeah, I think there's... You would be like the talk of the block if you just hand out, you know, like... You could do a combination of both, you know, like... Do you know those, they take those freeze-dried fruit crisps or whatever, you know? They slice the fruit really thinly and then they dehydrate them and then, freeze-dry them. Those are like candy almost, and it's like a futuristic food, so I guess you could, it's kind of like space-agey, futuristic kind of looking food, so that might fit with a Halloween theme. Like, if I was like younger and I got a bag of those dehydrated or freeze-dried fruits, I'd be like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. It's not candy, but it tastes like it. What year are you from? Man, I want to eat more of those. I should get some one of these days. I'm just saving up because I've been sitting down for a long time. Do some exercises or stretches. Let me get some water. I've been talking for a long time, so my throat's kind of, my voice is too a little bit kind of fading out now. Let's see what else we can learn about Halloween. Let's see, so we did, let's see. How about biggest fears of 2021? That could be interesting. Okay, what Americans fear the most according to Google searches? This year's top phobia was a fear of failure, followed by a fear of blood, water, and intimacy. Spiders and the outside tied to round out the top 5 phobias. The outside, yeah, the outdoors. Again, we don't know everything that goes out in nature and stuff. Just think of the ocean, that we know more of the surface of the moon than we know about our own oceans. Who's not to say that that's the same case with, like, you know, grasslands and fields and forests, that we only scratch the surface because we're looking for things that make sense to us. Possibilities out there, like, that's why I really believe in, like, just reading about what we do know, like nature and, you know, different types of plants, animals. Yeah, we found like 1 million species of animals and a few more million or billions of other species and stuff like that are still out there for us to find and study and things like that. I think as like people interested in science, or even just like you saw like an article about a certain fish, and when you're scrolling through YouTube or Google and you're like, this sounds interesting, I want to learn more about it, and you read on it, and then you spend like maybe 10 minutes on searching about that type of fish or whatever it is in nature. Like maybe you're interested, you saw like an interesting species of mushroom in this picture and you want to learn about it and stuff like that. Like, yeah, we only scratch the surface, so who knows what's out there. I think for like humans to fully discover like everything that's out in nature, we have to stop thinking about oh, this is normal, so let's look for that specific trait. Like you know, like having like an expectation already, so you're kind of like not searching for things that don't fit your expectation of what you're trying to find. I think whenever people are like curious or interested in discovering things out in the wild, out in nature, we should have an open mind, because who knows, like we might not think that a living thing or species of tree or species of, I don't know, deer we don't, it might have evolved differently and stuff like that, or it's just a new species known to man. We've never seen that behavior before in an animal, so we might want to study it more. We'll find out more things, and then those things will lead to more questions and more explanations. That it's just knowledge should be free. Knowledge is about knowledge is like the one thing that we could all like look towards knowing and getting to a better understanding and having closure as well. There are burning questions, even this most smallest thing, like I wonder if that one bird I see in my yard is from around here, did it migrate, something like that. If you're becoming like a scientist, a full-blown scientist or something, those questions could tell you a lot more than just the bird's migratory patterns and stuff. You could like predict the weather and see where changes in the environment. So it's just keep an open mind and never stop being curious, basically. So yeah, go out there and discover your own things. Let's see what the other top fears are. Fear of germs or viruses. That's a very common one, especially in the pandemic right now. And think about this. Actually, anything you're doing ever since when all of it started, you're actually like making historical documents. You know, like that one memo you typed out to your boss during the spring of 2020 during the lockdown stuff. That's technically historical source about the pandemic. So someone further down the line, a researcher, a historian, a guy reading the whatever type of newspaper they have then, maybe they have a holographic newspaper like in the metaverse, like Mark Zuckerberg's rebranding of Facebook. Who knows what the newspapers might be like in the future, but yeah, so because of these, it's a historical source, so it's like us reading about a journal of Ben Franklin or something like that. What we write down now and what we save and put into archives and databases right now, anything about like how the day is going, even it could be the most boring day ever, but if you write it down, and then in the future people are gonna want to know like what happened during 2020, what did people do during 2021, and so on. How did everyone feel once we solved this pandemic thing, and then how did everyone gradually return to normal, stuff like that. That's why I keep a journal. So I started I started the journal because I just felt like back in December 2019, I was like, I have an urge to keep a daily journal for some reason, and then so I did, and it's still going on actually until this day. Has every day since New Year's of 2019. So the first couple of entries are like January 2020 and stuff like that. Yeah, it's still ongoing, and it's been this big project. Let me share the journal. Let me see. Get it up from here. Okay, so this set of two ordinary looking composition notebooks actually has a year plus of days and documentation and just thoughts I've been having ever since the start date of December 31st, 2019. So I used to just do a sentence a day, but then once the pandemic hit and so many other things started happening, life changed so quickly. I started writing more. Some of these entries I have paragraphs in them, some of them are just a few sentences. But this is a year plus I'm just holding in my hands, and I go back and some of the things in here, and it's like, oh my gosh, and it's shocking. I could pinpoint the date when all the lockdowns start happening. I can better reference specific days or remember things from like a year ago, and it's just crazy, man. I'm going to try and continue this journal. Actually, this is the one that is still filling up. This one's already filled. I ended filling it June 25th of this year, so I still have a long way to go. And it just feels like, you know, that one scene in there's a scene in Doctor Strange where he's like using the time stone and he's like looking at the book and like the page appears there, and then combine that with all of the different, like, you know, they're talking about holograms now that you could work out of like workspaces, or it's like Tony Stark in the movies where he just taps in like midair, but it shows like a whole interface and stuff like that. It reminds me of like whenever I look through this and flip through like the empty pages or even filled ones, it's like I'm looking right into the past, or I'm making a connection with my past self, and it's just crazy how it's been a year and some of these dates and, you know, historic events like the start of the pandemic and then the lockdowns and stuff like that. It's all in here, and it's like you could read, it's like a story. It's like this is a story from the year 2020 to 2021, and it's still being filled. It's like I can't find the words for it, but it's just very dear to me that I started this journal. Someday, of course, once once I can't write anymore, I don't have time to, or stuff like that. I fill up so many journals that they don't have anymore. I would like to get this published one day. This journal, this account, this account of a Filipino American high school student, then college student and beyond, living in the Midwest during one of the most what's the word, man? I can't find a word for this, but you know, like the 2020 era and all of how life changed so quickly, like living amongst that, and then how it was for our community, like locally, like subdivision, the school and all that, and then outward seeing what was happening. I would love to get this published, and I would love to continue this as long as I can, this journal, where I could reflect and you know, like talk to the journal and stuff, get my ideas flowing. I would love to share this someday with more people, and you know, like, we shouldn't forget about the fun times we had and all that. We should hold those memories dear to your heart, because you'll thank yourself later, and it'll just give you another reason why life and you are just amazing and wonderful. And yeah, so the gist of it is keep a journal and you know, just like live in the moment, keep yourself safe, have self-reflection, have confidence, all those good things. Remember where you started as, and how many great things you have in store for you, and be grateful for all of that. And it's just mind-boggling, it's astronomical that just a simple journal like this, it just a year in my hands, basically. It's a year in my hands, and I can't find the words for it, but the gist of it is I love that. I've been keeping a journal, so yeah. I have a journal that I write about my shiny Pokemon. I actually have a journal for Pokemon trades as well. What I used to do, I'm like crazy, I wrote down the trades and like what was being exchanged and who I was trading with in the Pokemon game, and I wrote them down in like a logbook. So yeah, it's fun writing. It's fun writing a journal about stuff. Actually, fun story about journals. So to my classmates, I'm not gonna say full name, but one of them's Reese and then the other one's Jack. One of their classes, so they had this guy in their class, and he would keep around this big 5-subject notebook, and in that 5-subject notebook was his vision for a country. He made up a country by scratch. He wrote everything. It's like a Wikipedia page for a country. And, for example, he had its currency, he had its history, he had its per capita, and stuff like that. You know, like he literally made a country and wrote it. He didn't have to do anything but just keep thinking of stuff and writing that stuff down. He built a country with a piece of paper. Like, do you know how amazing writing and stuff like that is? And you could build a country with just a piece of paper if you let your imagination work and stuff like that. And I found it amazing and just interesting. I really want to read it because he set up like history about the country. He had this whole thing about, I'm guessing, like wars this fictional country has been, what kinds of people are in there, what are their traditions, what's the main religion, who's in charge, and the political processes, maybe what kinds of animals live in that region, just stuff like that. I love the whole thing of writing. I think need to be, I think we, as like, you know, a community that loves media, all types of media, you know, like social media, fine arts, and writing, literature. I think we need to explore more of a genre that's centered around like world building. World building is like, you know, like what they're doing with that notebook in the country that they made up and basically wrote a Wikipedia article on it. Even though it's a fake country, they made up all that information, yet it's a country that now you could probably believe it's real, and it's crazy that, and it's so amazing that you can make a country out of a piece of paper and an imagination. It's wonderful. World building is, I think, it has a lot of potential, like even not just making like your own plan or anything like that. Think of the potential in like mechanics and medicine if more of these processes that people who write things for fictional lands, or you know, like stuff like that, think of the potential that we could all like have if our imagination was just boosted to that optimum level, that highest possible thing, where again, never lose your curiosity and stuff like that, but just think of the possibility with imagination and curiosity could take you, and writing that stuff down. There's a person who was on Reddit, and they were talking about writing stuff and writing their own books, and you just like, it's kind of like how you'll be like up, and then I wonder about such and such, and you spend like 30 minutes Googling an animal or a sporting event or anything like that for like 30 minutes, even though you have stuff to do, and you gradually get more and more interested in it. It's kind of like that, but the guy had so many headcanons about everything, and writing, you know, realistic fiction or video games, or just had like this whole headcanon or plot in his head about like a cool epic hero versus villain's tale and stuff like that, you know. He had all these headcanons, and there's people in the comments that are telling him, write this stuff down, you don't know if it's going to be bestseller. And I agree with it 100%. Right? If you're like just daydreaming in class or anything like that, and then you're thinking of like this big old epic poem or story or tale about like, I don't know, maybe a robotic Sasquatch who stops the takeover of his planet by the Yetis or something like that. Who knows? That might be a that might be the next best-selling book or movie they might turn into a video game. Who knows? But yeah, so keep dreaming and never lose your imagination, and always have that sense of curiosity, but not too much curiosity where you injure yourself. But curiosity, imagination, and ingenuity, healthy dose of three things that I think all humans should have. Celebrate our use of imagination and creativity and stuff like that. That's, I think, what everyone should do. My old friend from school wrote a language in his journal. Oh wow, like stuff like that. Make up your own language. That's something it would take me like a long time to do, but it's stuff like that. It's just amazing. It's amazing. The world building kind of stuff I've been doing. I used to like just find like Pokemon that people make up, like fake Pokemon, and then like add Pokedex entries and stats and moves for them. I had like this region that I had like 50 towns and areas, and I wanted a big region, and there's like this. I was like writing it stuff down and thinking in my head like what I would do in this Pokemon game. So I made this area. It was like a giant mountain that would have different levels. And then I put the evil team in this like dreamed up Pokemon game that I was like just thinking about it and using my imagination stuff, like what do I want in a Pokemon game. So I made like the evil team in the this Pokemon game I was making up called Team Enigma, and then they would have this mansion. It's like their headquarters, but the bottom where you need to get to is like 100 floors below ground level. So you have to like, the mansion itself is like a facade, but it's like a big old facility, research facility that some places have been overrun with wild Pokemon, so you could like fight things in there and catch them and then fight the grunts and stuff. But I also had this other idea. What was it? Oh, I wanted to add a town. If I was designing a Pokemon game, I wanted to make this big town. It's bigger than what some of the cities, but it's still called a town. It would have it's like a resort area. So you would have like the suburbs. So those are like the residences and stuff. You have the big old resort area, and then you would have kind of like a naturey, more rural area of it. So it's kind of 3 towns in one town. I thought that was cool. I think I gave it the name Luxuria, so it would have been more like a vacation spot. You think of like Atlantis, the cruise place where it takes you to those islands, the artificial islands and stuff, but what if it's a town instead of a big old vacation island? It buffered. Anywho, I think we're back. I had this idea where what was it now? Oh yeah, so I wanted to build this Pokemon area in a region if I was making a game. It's this big old village. It looks like you walked back into like pre 1400s China or Japan. So during when they still had more feudal type structures in society rather than technological and like vintage and rustic and more attuned with the nature type feel to it. And there'd be just this giant cherry blossom tree in the town, and they actually use that for their buildings. So you have these platforms. Think of like the village where the Ewoks live on Endor, but if those trees are like, I think they're just California redwoods or whatever. Think of those, but it's just one big one with all these smaller ones growing off of a giant cherry blossom tree. Yeah, it's some crazy ideas back then. The other world building stuff I tried to do one time was write my own comics and draw them and stuff, but I had so many story ideas, but I could never draw correctly, so maybe I'll just write out those ideas. I don't know. I start writing them, and then I got bored and didn't have enough time. Like, I had this series I was actually making like a fanfic, but it was more of like writing a movie script for like the next adventure superhero-ish movie, and like, you know, like detective movie kind of thing. So I liked this character in the DC comics called John Constantine. He's like a street smart magician, but he doesn't really use magic. He uses like sleight of hand, and he could basically talk himself out of any situation. I thought it was cool. So when I started like reading about more DC Comics characters, he was part of a team. So Constantine is known for wearing a trench coat. So him and these 3 other trench coat wearing magician type characters made a team called the Trenchcoat Brigade. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I was like, you know, watching shows about the DC characters and magic and all these other cool abilities and the comics and stuff like that. So I started writing my own series about the Trenchcoat Brigade. And I got to, well, I skipped a little bit of the episodes. I was writing in like an episode style, like, you know, like how you'd see a synopsis on Wikipedia if you look up list of episodes to whatever TV show. I was doing it in that style, and I got through maybe 5 of them, but not in the same order. But yeah, I introduced a lot of like characters from the comics and made them like a modern twist on them, stuff like that. So from in the comics, Constantine will team up with the Phantom Stranger, who is basically, okay, so he's more like embodiment of justice, like cosmic justice, and has all these vast cosmic abilities. So he's more kind of like a cosmic powered character than mystic character. You have Dr. Colt, who used to be called Dr. Mystic, and he's actually, fun fact, Superman is not the first superhero ever. It's actually Dr. Richard Colt, who's the DC superhero of the same name, but he also was called Dr. Mystic for a time. So his origin story is pretty interesting. It's kind of like a Halloween kind of story, I guess. So back in like the turn of the century, so like around 1899, him and his close friend or slash partner, Rose Psychic or Rose Spiritus, I forgot which one was her real name, but anywho, so they're like orphans, but then this secret organization took them in, and they got them the power of the 7. Dr. Colt's main weapon is like this little disc or ball thing that has sections on it, and it's called the Mystic Symbol of the 7 or something like that, I forgot. But anywho, so he fights like this alien ghost thing called Koth, and he fights vampires. And one of his first, like adventures, they're like the style of comics that you would see in like the newspaper if you're reading, and you see like comic maybe 2 or 3 pages long and spread like that, and it's pencil drawn and very simple, but straight to the point and very precise. He would be fighting this powerful foe, the Vampire Master, and the Vampire Master, usually vampires were weakened by his, like his little charm thing that he uses, his weapons, the magic symbol. But this particular vampire wasn't stopped by that, so they try to lure him to Rose. Rose acts as like a lure to get the Vampire Master, and then he finally defeats him. So yeah, it's very interesting. He's like one of those vintage superheroes, like from the Golden Age and stuff. He's actually one of the first ones too, so if not the first superhero ever. Superman's like up there too, I know. There's a Human Torch android, and Namor was also a very early on superhero. It's for Marvel, not DC though. And so a lot of interesting things actually happen with Dr. Colt and Rose Psychic. At one point, they become one person, so sometimes Rose will switch off and become Dr. Colt, and then vice versa, Richard would become Rose, and just depend on the situation if they need to fight someone. What else is interesting about? Oh, they're part of like the All-Star Squadron there, fighting in World War II. So I played it a little bit when I was writing my little thing about these 4 like interesting characters from DC, like writing my own stories about them and stuff, like just like, you know, world building, I guess you could call it. So my imagination running wild. Like, anywho, I played around a lot with the World War II side of Dr. Colt and Rose Psychic. Like, I had this story that they're gonna take down this base of the Axis powers who are using, like, you know, like Hydra was in Captain America, like they're looking for these mystical artifacts, and he's called the Ghost Detective, and I wanted to like explain why in that thing, but I never finished it. But yeah, I liked exploring some of these characters and just reading about them, seeing where they came from and stuff. From I like doing that from both Marvel and DC, as long as it isn't there's some characters that I have a pet peeve with. First of all is Scott Summers and Jean Grey. It's just too much, and you know the X-Men show all the time they would like yell their names at each other. They're just too much. I like the other X-Men. I like the X-Men actually more than the Avengers. The X-Men have very wide, diverse thing of powers and stuff, and it's very interesting in X-Men comics. I like the Avengers as well. So anyway, I got off on a tangent. I mentioned, so Constantine again. It's Constantine's the world's greatest con man. The 4th member of the Trenchcoat Brigade is Mr. E, and he's a time-traveling magician. Well, not much of a magician, but he does use his powers for time travel. He's a monster hunter, so in some of his first appearances, he would use a wooden stake, a mallet, and maybe a silver pistol with some bullets in it to kill werewolves. But then he kind of became enshrouded in, you know, like obscurity for a while. And he was revived in the series where he's like a crazy, very radical vision of like good and evil and people and stuff like that. He has a very strange and kind of unsettling backstory, so I'm not going to go into it very detailed, but some messed up things happened, and he's actually blind. He's very strong in, like he's, I don't know, he has like a very, very, very dark side. I don't want to just say that, but it's like a monster hunter, and then he's very strict on good and evil and stuff like that. He's blind and good time travel, and he doesn't really use magic per se other than time travel, but he does carry around like a wooden stake and, you know, like traditional monster hunting equipment. It's a very interesting story of his. He has a solo series, and he's also he's in the series that had DC's version of Harry Potter in it, and he's kind of a jerk in that one because he basically tricked I'm not gonna go into detail, and I don't want to spoil it, but he's kind of I don't know, he's kind of shady. But anywho, those were some of the things I like to do with, you know, like ideas in my head and stuff. World building, Pokemon again. I have all these ideas, crazy ideas about like, Pokemon I want to see being added, and movesets and Pokédex entries and lore and stuff. I like talking a lot about random stuff, like jump topics from Halloween to writing and healing and stuff. I started sounding like a high school teacher, boring the audience, but oh well. It's getting pretty late. What time is it? The clock it's almost 2, I think. Yeah, it's almost 2. Barely. Well, I think. Oh, you did research on Book of the Thorn. It's pretty cool. Sammy, what was your favorite animal back then? what was the animal that you're researching in the paper? I would love to know about different animals that people like. And I'm taking a general biology course, and we're learning. This is new information I've ever learned about plants and other things, because in AP Bio, which I took previously, that whole section about going through the different domains and stuff of life was cut out for some reason. So now, taking this class at the college, I'm like learning new things about things from eukarya and bacteria and fungi and all of that stuff, protists, plants. Like, did you know that fungi and humans are actually more related than fungi and plants? And it's some of the things where, because we're in the same group as some of the protist groupings, we're in the same group as the fungi. So mushroom and you are actually more related than the mushroom and the plant. We both fungi and animals are absorbers. We absorb to get nutrition. So that's another thing that we have in common. So it's just crazy stuff like that you wouldn't think about, but it is scientific fact. The cheetahs. Very beautiful animals. I love cheetahs. I like the food that cheetahs make. Cheetos, Chester cheetah. I love cheetahs. Did you see that? There's that video of them meowing or bark. They don't meow because I don't think the larger cats do, but they have like this little chirping sound that they make. It's adorable. I love cheetahs. Actually, our school is our school has a mascot that is one of those big cats. My high school was the Jaguars, so like I was a Jaguar for thing. I'm not the mascot or anything like that, but our school is the Jaguars, and yeah, I like big cats. They're pretty cool. They do act a lot like just the domesticated cats. If you see them, they recognize the humans are there, and they know that they're just gonna ignore them. Domesticated cats usually do. They still have like catitude, which is what I'm trying to say. Sadly, a lot of the species of big cats are endangered. Habitat loss, and stuff like that, hunting. Versus. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't like it. That makes me yawn when I talk about big cats. Like the armored leopard, that thing is getting rare by the passing day and stuff, because I think last time I checked, it was on a statistic video. There's like only 300 of them left or something like that, and that species needs to be protected. We need to like, I don't know. I really don't know. I think you just need to pay more attention to like these species are needed, because once they're gone, they're gone. We can't bring them back then. But if scientists and people are passionate about these animals come together now while they're still around, we could still get ahead of the sad event of extinction. Then they'll be around for future generations to enjoy as well, and learn about them and actually see the moving animal than just like a picture in the book or bones in the museum. We need people to experience seeing these things like animals and learning about them more, because you don't want them gone, and once they're gone, they're gone. It's like one of those things, it's a saying, you won't miss it until it's gone and stuff, and that's true for so many things. so many things you take for granted, like you know, the public transit workers and stuff. Freedom of speech is another thing that not many people have. Just being able to wake up and then not having to worry about something dangerous happening to you because of, for whatever reason, just random chance, or military or anything like that. You don't need to worry about you losing your life when you walk to the grocery store because of an invasion or an unstable government. You don't need to worry about any of those things. There's stuff like that that a lot of people take for granted, and then so I think that goes also with endangered animals, that we should do a lot more, and we should do as much as we can to first be grateful for what we have, and second, do as much as we can to help share that with others, that same thing that we take for granted, that we need to still be appreciative of and work towards making that more accessible for others. Like, you know, like endangered animals, we should protect them more, because then future generations could enjoy them as well, and they will again be looking at just a picture in a book or bones in a museum. It's things like being able to go to school. Some people go to school and that's how they get their meals. We need to put more systems in place to make sure they get better meals and better nutrition at schools. So we'd be making it more accessible for other people, and as well as showing that people who are preparing those foods and how the processes and the workers who are able to get it are appreciated as well, because they're like the people who are driving society, like the public transit workers, the people who are the medical staff and stuff like that, people who prepare food and do all the sanitation and all that stuff. Those are the people who are driving society, and stuff like that. Those products that they're making, fruits of their labor. I think we need to show more appreciation and work towards preserving that for people, for like generations and things like that, so more people have more access to them. Because again, you don't miss it until it's gone. That's the saying. It's one of those universal truths thing that think about, like, if you could do something today to prevent something really bad tomorrow, you should always take that chance, just be grateful for everything that you have, and help those achieve as well as you do, and stuff like that. Always work towards helping other people up, not putting others down, and stuff like that. You should be grateful for what you have, and not only be grateful, but helping other people as well along the way. It's the main message in like everything, but it's there's a reason why it's in all these other things too. Not just protecting endangered animals, not just helping an elderly person across the street. There's a reason why all these have the same lesson. It's because it's a very important one. That's what I'm just trying to say. And very thankful and glad to have met so many great people and experienced so many things, and just all the greatness that is in store for the future, and how much we could change and build things, and there's always room for possibility and great things ahead. Anywho, that's my TED Talk, I guess. what a crazy TED Talk it was. They were talking about animals, they were talking about Halloween, they were talking about other things too. Yeah, so that was an interesting one, to say the least. Oh my gosh, my back is bad, man. I've been sitting for a while. I need to stand up again. What to do? Well, anywho, I hope everyone had a wonderful Halloween. And staying warm as it's getting colder as we approach the fun holidays. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, solstice, and it's almost winter break for all the people going to school and things. So there's that big old break where you could catch up on your hobbies, catch up with your friends, relax, finally get so many hours of sleep. It's all coming out at the end of the year again, and another year flies by just like a snap. But not with the Infinity Gauntlet, though. I don't want to snap with the Infinity Gauntlet. That would make a mess. Yeah. So, yeah. Better get going on the other stuff I plan to stream on Twitch. Like, I want to return doing Pokemon giveaways and more music performances. I practice almost each day, at least one of my instruments, either recorder on the mallet instruments like the xylophone and stuff, and I want to make someone's day, and I'll play for people outside and stuff, but I want to share music with more people, and I think I'll start streaming my practices more often. The possibility of making someone's day a tune I play or something like that. I'd love to do that. It would be the greatest thing to make someone's day, just playing a song for them and then bringing that person a smile and stuff. I would love to do that. Alright, see you, Super Sammy. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you for the chat. It was very fun to talk about cheetahs and all the other crazy stuff. It's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for the support. Have a happy Halloween. And take care, man. Thank you so much again. So yeah, I think it is getting pretty late. I've stayed up late, but it's like 2 o'clock, and I don't know if I'm going to meet with one of my professors tomorrow to discuss things. I need to stay for a test, so I'm gonna go up early tomorrow so I can get more hours of sleep before the test. So anywho, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I hope everyone had a wonderful and safe Halloween with your friends and family. Again, it's been a different Halloween. It's been a different year. It's been a different decade already. But I really want everyone to stay safe out there. Stay smart. Stick with your friends and family, because whenever you need help, they'll be there for sure. Your family, your loved ones will be there for you. And a lot of people will be there for you as well, so you're never alone. And don't worry, just have hope, and all of this will get better soon. I know a lot of people are going through stuff, especially the continued pandemic and stuff like that. And we need more hope in our lives, especially now, as of course during winter things get much harder for people usually, and we need to bring hope. We need to rekindle hope to everyone. I hope everyone again is enjoying the autumn months well, and is doing well in school. It's almost the end of the first semester for a lot of people, and it's almost the end of my first semester of college as well. So very big things are coming up with all of the ends of these semesters, and the holidays, of course. Again, more holidays are on the way, and New Year's is, let's see, it's November now. It's November 1st technically, and it's in about 1.9 months. So it's another end of the year almost. So it just flies by like a snap, like I said earlier. Thank you so much, guys, everyone here on Twitch, on Reddit when I've done these streams, on Instagram, and TikTok, all of these things, making content for you guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been a blast. I'm truly honored, and I'm truly grateful for all of you and all your support, the positivity that all of you bring on this profile, on all of these platforms for other people, and for me, all the smiles and laughs that all of you have brought to others on here. It's been amazing. We need to bring more of those emotions to everyone around us, instead of like down in the dumps and gloom, doom and gloom and all that. We need to start like a smile a day is a long way. A smile a day will go a long way. That's a new saying. We should make that into something. A smile a day will go a long way. That's our new lesson for like daily lesson, or even it should be a saying for every day, everyone around the globe. A smile a day goes a long way. So there's something to remember, a little tidbit of knowledge. Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's been a blast. Thank you so much for all the support, all the kindness you've been showing me, and more importantly, others. I hope everyone's doing well, stays strong, and stays safe, stays healthy as well. It's a very important one. Everyone has wonderful November, December, and as the months get colder, everyone stays warm as well, because it's gonna get down there again. It's gonna start going below freezing point, and all this wind chill and stuff like that. It's gonna be there again. It's like an old friend that it's like an old friend from a high school reunion that never seen in a while, but they're coming back. They're gonna be there. Anywho, I want to thank you again for all the support and appreciation that you guys have been given. Really appreciate it. I do. To everyone out there, I hope you're doing well and staying safe. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and catch you guys later. Please do something nice for someone as well. I try to end my streams with that. Please do something nice for someone. Neighbor, stranger, friend, family. Please do something nice for someone. It'll make their day, and it'll make yours great too. Alright, guys, thank you so much. My name is One Who Gets Bread. It's been a pleasure hosting this Halloween late night talk show thingy with you guys. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys later, and please do something nice for someone. Have a happy Halloween, guys. See ya. Oh, wait, do you know what? Before I end, I'll run around the room as Charizard for a little bit. There's my wings, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's also a tail on the back of the Charizard thing. There it is. Rawr, 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 rawr. Okay. Alright, guys. See ya. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.